Hello and welcome to Geekatplay Studio Tutorials. Let's continue exploring Decay in Sprint. And one module I want to look right now, it is Ecosystem. Ecosystem is very powerful module and you'll see how it can extend your creativity, make it much easier and more fun. So let's say right here we have our camera preset and we're creating a simple terrain. Let me go also scale this terrain down so you can see easier. Okay, on this terrain, what's happening if I want to create a forest? Or even just a preview very close. So right here, my terrain. Let me modify it so we'll have something more fun. Okay. Maybe something like this. Okay, I have a nice mountain. I create my stretch mountain and now I want to place maybe trees over this. Currently, if I do this, I need to create each single tree, place it, or bush in this case, and so on, and just continue creating this way. This will take forever. So what ecosystem module does is allow you to automate its thing, automate the populations, and also create this with not just a populate over, but utilize by using special functions or rules how you want the cover going. So it will create very realistic. Let's open our terrain editor, our material editor, sorry, for terrain. And you'll notice when you install module, you will have it now ecosystem options to create as additional layer. Let's create one. So we click and select. To create a new one, if you want, you actually need to select back and click to select again. So right now we have it first ecosystem and we'll go to populated with object. You'll notice you have it populated with rocks, trees, or with different objects. If you're using object populating, you can use it animated or pre-animated object from like Poser and create army of marching robots example, or we can use it to populate rocks. And again, if we open, we can see all the rocks we can populate it with. But currently, let's work with the plants. So I'm open plants. Okay, let me scale a little bit. We'll go to the trees. Okay, and right here we'll go select. You can by clicking and click OK, or if you have it more than one, we'll just drag and drop. On this case, you can have it as many trees as you want. Let's, for example, put it one, and we'll take another, just put it that tree right here. Click OK. You notice we have it also several options. Set preview mode and also scale and populations. So for example, if I want to have it very few of the dead tree, I reduce the presence so it will have it less of them. At this point, if we'll click populate, it will populate trees over our hill. So let me take my camera, move it slightly away. And you can notice right here we have it our dead tree and normal trees. So let's preview. Okay, right here you can see we populated our terrain with the trees. So let me clear preset. Okay, next let's go open and see what other options we have it. We also have it select our underlying material. Currently it's a default, and I want to leave it so we can easily see those objects. You can modify options with the distributions, and this is very interesting affiliations with the previous layer. We can look on this in a second, but before I go too deep, this ecosystem is very powerful system, and I very highly recommend for you go check out a Geekatplay studio website. We have a lot of tutorials. They're always working with Infinity or Extreme versions, and if you have this module installed, you can also, all that will apply to you as well, so you can use all those advanced techniques. You can find how to working with ecosystem. Okay, so let's go ahead and I'll check on the density, and in density we also can have it how many items we want populated, less or more, it depends on the area. Also the population above or below surfaces. For example, when I populate with rocks and I want them reside, I'll probably go down below. And like example, let's say I want to go below surface 1 meter. So you'll notice on my trees, they kind of sink down in the ground. Or if you want to create something floating, an example we did before, when you want to float maybe firebugs or something, you maybe want set 3 meters above, populate, and now you have it stuff is floating in the air. Okay, we'll reset to 0. You also have options of variable density. Variable density, it's allowed you to use it function editor to create any based on the functions, already preloaded functions, and just apply this way. I do like use it variable density. The reason is why, because it's create this kind of patchy, uneven, more realistic look cover for their plants. Okay, below we have a decay need foreign objects, and in some cases you'll notice you maybe have a building and you don't want trees grow on that building. So example, if we have a sphere right here, okay, if we click now populate in our terrain, you notice the trees is avoiding and does not populate around our object. This is decay. It's what happened. Sometimes you want to turn it off if you want to populate underwater, but in many cases, if you have like object, you probably want to keep it on, maybe even reduce slightly so trees become a little bit closer. But again, in this case, it's help you to interact your ecosystem with the objects or models inside your view scenery. Scaling and orientation. Some options is very similar and self-explanatory, like scale. So if I think trees is too big, I can reduce. But be careful when you do this, because you'll notice the instance. Okay, so next we also have it different type of proportions, uniform, non-uniform. And again, this is better if we look in some projects, what we're going to work a bit later. The one interesting things, it's kind of more important, it's directions from surface. And we can see if it's vertical or perpendicular. Okay, and actually we'll look on this one in when we start having a little bit small fun project on the end of this. So we'll look more how this one direction is working. Okay, we also have rotations, and this is to increase randomness. What's happening when you create an instance on your plant? It will take a specific species and create a different variations. Depending on what type species you have it, the view will have it maybe from 5 maybe to 20 different type of the variations. But this is just simple variation of the branches and leaves position. But beside that, additional variations can apply, like rotation, sizing, which is make look them totally different and look very, very realistic in this case. Okay, next we have a variable scaling, which is similar to the density variable scaling, and shrink at low density, which I like to use mostly by the roads, rivers. It's give you a very realistic look. As well is new in View 10 was the lean out density. So just on the edges, if you notice, the plants will go lean this way, so out. It's kind of create again all this to create a realistic look and behavior of the plants around. So we have a color where we can specify overall color. Example, if you want to create a little bit more fall look, so we can apply this one. You can see now we have it like a yellowish look plant. We also can create different color on lower densities as well, like on the end if you want to create new plants or dry out plants. And the same, you can use it function editor or other options to change and modify color variations over. The presence is kind of very important, and when you start using, you can say on which altitude or plant you want it, or what slope and other adjustments. My kind of tip over this right now, it is sometimes it's hard to see where the plant begin and end on what altitude. Use the highlighter. So example, let me go right here, terrain, and I'll enable highlighter. So you can see right here with plant covering. So and we can go increase altitude, and by clicking on preview, you can see where ecosystem will position. So in my tutorials, I use this quite a bit often to just highlighter, see where is position for the ecosystem will apply it. Okay, and after this, it's just see how where plants will grow. So like right here, just on the slopes, or opposite, for example, just a little bit more on the flat areas, less on the slopes. It's help you visually see where the ecosystem will populate it on which areas. And after when you're done, you can uncheck populate, and it will populate just in those areas that you specified. Okay, so this is just very fast overview. Let's go ahead and have some fun, and we'll see real power of this. So for that, we'll go to create couple terrains. Okay, this is one terrain. And we'll just go put this kind of closer to our camera. Okay, we'll go to edit this object. Click OK. Maybe just shrink it. Okay, let's duplicate it. Expand a little bit up and stretch out. So right here I have it. Okay, 3 terrains. And if I want to create some forest and cover it, it's take a quite bit for me to populate it. So with ecosystem, I can do simple things. Just select grass. Go right here, add ecosystem. And for this one, I maybe want to populate with some grass. So let's go select the grass plants. Okay, we'll click OK. And with the grass population, so that's it, I want to actually use it perpendicular. So I don't want them to go straight like a trees, but I want to cover properly hill. So I'll go select this one. And you can see it's kind of follow the directions inverse of my terrain. So next, I want to increase density because I want to have a lot of grass population right here. Okay, also, if you have any additions from Cornucopia, maybe you purchase some flowers or other ones, you can add them as well here. So you'll have a little bit more colors. In this version, I don't have it, but let's see if I have it a little bit more with the grass. Okay, so yeah, I can select, maybe put it some different type of plants as well, just to make it look different. Okay, let's go populate it again. So right here we have a front population. Next, I'm going to populate, to create green and populate our back scenery. So we'll go create ecosystem. And for this, I'm just going add trees to this one. Okay, and if we populate, so we have some nice tree cover right here. You notice we're kind of right on the edge, disappearing because it's come closer to the other terrain what's ending. So on this one I want disable decay. Okay, and in the scaling I want shrink, and you remember how lean, I want actually pop up a little bit this way, so they will go covered nicely right here to the edge, and we'll reduce density as well. Okay, next, if what interesting things I want to do, I will create another layer of the ecosystem. Okay, and I want to use affinity with this, so let's bring this up. We'll go to add some maybe bushes, or let's see what else we have it. Say on the trees, maybe just again take this one grass. Okay, but for this grass I want pop-up scaling. Okay, pop up a little bit density, and will also affinity will, it's meaning they will go just around the layer below. So if this one is our tree layer, so our grass, it will go just under trees. It's what specified by used affinity. Okay, We'll click populate, and you can notice right here the grass just going under trees. So we'll click OK. Next thing is nice about this, we can copy material and just apply to our terrain. And let's click populate system now. Okay, we already kind of populated our system very nicely. We can take our sun. Let's see if we can place it in some very good composition right here. Main camera. Just bring a little bit up so we have a nicer look. Modify atmosphere. We'll set to global radiosity. Let's add a little bit more saturation to our atmosphere. We'll go to edit clouds. We'll add nice color, and we'll go to altitude a little bit high, so for a little bit more details here. And our sky, let's rework. Let's go ahead and just a little bit more glowing and a little bit more on a fog and haze, so we'll have it beautiful lighting going over here. Okay, sometimes with light we can preview, but you can see already how fast we created. And let's create, actually what I want to do is add softness. So pop up softness to my light. It will add nice shadows. I like this softer a little bit on the shadows on the ecosystem. It's add kind of realism a little bit better to this. Okay, and I think we're ready to render. So you can see how fast we created this very wide looking area. Actually, you know what? One more detail right here in atmosphere. I want pop up aerial perspective so we can see kind of more interesting right this area right here, distance. And because we've done this, I want to reduce slightly on a glowing. So we'll be coming back with our clouds. Okay, set back to 0. Okay, we'll go to the final, and I keep it 640. So then we go to render and preview our image what we created very fast with ecosystem. So I'm going to pause this tutorial, and I'll come back when this render is completed. Okay, so a couple of things I noticed. Let's render right here. We have a small piece of the ground kind of poking through. So let me know what, cancel this one. We need to set our ground to same color, green, so it doesn't poke out. And what I want to do as we're doing this, you know what, let me move this one a little bit more that way, and we'll just add right here a little bit of the water. Okay, I'll check the height so my camera doesn't go up and down, and we can right about this one. So right here we actually have it even more interesting. Now we add some water, plants, and you notice because it's already populated, they don't disappear. But if I'm going inside and I'm says very populate now, they kind of don't touch water right here. So this is when you become decay option. So we want uncheck, so that will go all the way down underwater. Okay, and just add a little bit depth. Okay, there you go. And again, just start rendering so we can fix these small mistakes. Okay, so right here, finish our render, and you can see we have a very nice terrain. It's going kind of almost like swampy look right here with water, and quite a bit population in the back. And again, this was done very fast, and you can create very good and realistic look scenery again when you work with ecosystem. Thank you for watching this tutorial from Geekatplay Studio, and please remember visit our website www.geekatplay.com.